we're looking at here is an Aame hive. We chose the Aame hive primarily because of the insulation, but also because it has latches. That helps secure both the deep and the medium. So that way the function of the bank spar is protected. That way we don't have to worry about shifting deeps, shifting mediums, or anything else like that. It's just secure in place. The insulation is a fact of that structural and helps along the lines of what Jim was doing over at Vinofarm. Last year we successfully overwintered this one back here in just a single brood chamber, single deep, using just standard Langstroth frames. Carrying that same thought process over here in New Hampshire, you know, we get a lot of cold weather, and it's an extended period of time, so we have a very short flow season. This makes the implementation of the bank spar, particularly here in the northeast United States, advantageous because we have sort of optimized the amount of space that they need to heat, the amount of resources that they can fit in, and the time spent through the inspection. So let's just kind of go through it. What we're looking at here is this package was installed about 3 weeks ago. We had one update via Instagram last week, and it was nothing more than a couple pictures. We had, I want to say, 3 frames drawn out with comb. Now that wasn't the full banks bar frame, it was the deeps, which were the upper portions of that banks bar frame. But you know, less talk and more show. Let's get into it, Chris. I do want to say thank you to Bug Farmer and JC's Bees. You can check the links down below. They've been fantastic in supporting and providing me feedback of the banks bar system, and I look forward to their reviews, their honest reviews, and I've already started adopting some of those changes into the next version. So just taking a look, about a week ago we filled this with nectar. It looks like they've been eating. I'd say there's probably a good 90% of that syrup has been gone down, has been consumed, and like I said, it's a package, so they're going to be hungry, and they're out here in New England looking hard for it. We did add a pollen patty just for the sake of providing the option of the resource. We are starting to get a little bit of pollen up here in New Hampshire, but let's just kind of talk less, Chris. And you can tell that the primary section that the brood has selected has been the right-hand side. Let's go ahead and move this here. So for the feeders, I'm just placing them back on the inverted top of the Aame. That helps avoid squishing any bees. We want to make sure that they have every chance to thrive here. The other thing you'll note is that we've been using is the Aame frame spacers. I find them to be, you know, sort of a quick check on sanity for spacing out the frames. You know, so they are a fantastic tool. Thank you to Aame. A lot of credit to the performance of these bees is that installation, stability, and control with the entrance and the whole form. What you can see here now is a full installation of 10 frames of banks bars, all of them installed with that drywall screw. Check out my instructional video for assembly. I don't think I've released it yet, but my daughter's really looking forward to doing an instructional video. She wants to participate in this as well. But looks like, just kind of looking down here, nothing really on this frame. We have shared space on 1, 2, 3, 4 frames. Again, this is week 3 since install, with no comb, just foundation. So we'll go ahead and pull out this first frame here. Nothing really drawn out. A couple bees on there. Set that off to the side. Let's see how well they're doing. This is a good temperament hive too. A little bit of cross comb there. And you can kind of see they're starting to draw it down from the deep frame. And they're pulling in plenty of pollen, some bee bread, some nectar, and they've even started capping off some of their resources. So, good performance there. So we have one frame of resources, pollen and nectar there, and honey. There was nothing on the backside there, but what you see here is really the desired effect of the Banks bar, or at least the beginnings of the desired effect of the Banks bar. They've already started drawing down that honeycomb, that comb formation with brood and nectar, and they are basically bridging already. No misalignment, no cross comb issues. Again, we have options for that coming out a little bit later if you want to sort of try and control that, but it's untested, and we will be testing it. Looks like we got a nice little lightning bug who's decided to join us. We're fortunate enough to not have to worry about small hive beetle up here, or at least I haven't seen any in the 2 years that I've been beekeeping. But fantastic formation. I'll get a nice good look right there. If you can spot the queen, let me know in the comments. Maybe I can tag it in the video a little bit further along, but fantastic. Not too bad for 3 weeks. Basically a full deep, and then if you wanted to check, you can do this and show you that it's basically the same on the other side. So 2 sides of one frame, full comb, worker brood, looking fantastic for week 3 of package install. Let's see if we can dig into our second frame. This is probably going to be the core of the colony here. Looks like we've already got a section that started emerging. It's interesting. So she's been very productive. Trying to turn here and see what we got on the other side. Yeah, whole section there that looks like has already started emerging from the looks of it. If you see something different, by all means let me know, but you can already begin to see they've physically connected the top part of that comb to the upper part there. So really the bottom part of this is nothing more than a starter strip for the comb beneath it. I'm really looking forward to how they make that connection. I've seen in some the other videos where people have used frames like this and they have an issue with drone comb. So far I haven't really seen that issue here. I got 1, maybe 2 drone cells here on the other side. Again, if you spot the queen, let me know. Oh, haha! Victory. There's our queen right there, crawling down through the channel on the Banks bar. My left hand here, your right side of the screen. Fantastic. She's just digging right in. There's a bit of a crude coloring of the queen there. Again, this is really only our 2nd year beekeeping, so we're developing a lot of those core skills. You know, it's no walk in the park, but it certainly is enjoyable. And this is where we can kind of see things maybe diverting slightly. But really, I think it's just sort of like us having a conversation with them, you know, guiding them in the right direction. And I think just a light nudge, just paying attention to what's going on. And we can guide them down and get them to make that connection appropriately. What do we have on this side? Resources and brood. Yeah. Oh yeah, we've got some open brood here, some larvae, some fairly mature larvae. Lots of pollen, lots of bee bread. Get a good look at how that progress is coming along. Looking good. The other thing I've noticed, particularly in the Aame with the Banks bars, is because of their manufactured plastic. They are PETG. I might have misspoken in one of my other videos, but these Banks bars from our production site, they are made with PETG, which is a variation of basically the same plastic that you use in water bottles. And I've seen people keep hives in PET, like 5-gallon water bottles. It's, you know, bees are resilient, and they've really kind of taken to these bars. The other thing that I've noted is I've seen bees actively using the channels on the side as a method of getting around. Here's our last real frame of comb on the back side here. So we have expanded out. Last time we really only had about 3 frames with comb on it, and we're looking at about 4 frames with comb, 2 with resources, and 3 with basically almost full brood patterns. I could continue, but I think you'd only be looking at more empty Banks bars. We can just take a quick peek real quick. Yeah, so it was a small package, and respectively to a 10 frame deep, this is a significantly large area, but it also gives them the opportunity to rapidly expand. It's a lot of area to work, but they seem to be sort of concentrating their effort. The insulation fact of the Aame is really giving them that opportunity to work without having to worry too much about cool overnights. I think our overnight temps have been, you know, lows are in the low 40s. I haven't seen anything dip below 40 in about, you know, a month. I could be wrong, but you know, that's your introduction to the Banks bar, and you're welcome to stick around for the wrap up. And I want to say we're maybe about a week or 2 out, and we're going to be installing a nuke. And you're probably asking, Chris, your Banks bars don't fit standard deep nukes. How are you possibly going to do that? And that's exactly what I'm going to show in one of my next videos. So make sure you like, make sure you subscribe to see how all that pans out, and our plan, whether it's right or wrong, we'll certainly discover. But happy to come out here and visit these girls on this beautiful day, and super grateful for what they provide to us. Again, I want to follow up with a thank you to JC's Bees, Bug Farmer, and Vinofarm for all their contributions to beekeeping, to YouTube, and to you know, this thriving culture of oh, there you go, of hobbyists and new beekeepers. There's a lot to learn from a younger generation. I'm probably sitting smack dab in between two. Some of the older ones who've been around for, you know, doing this 30 years, and then some of the newer ones out there that are, you know, inspired by it and asking a lot of questions. I'd like to ask both those communities to listen to each other. There's a lot of very young people nowadays who are highly educated and have very different views on what we can do for the bees. Equally so, there's a lot of experience out there from the older beekeepers who have kind of done this and made all the mistakes, learned from them, and developed their own things. So really, you know, as a community, we have an opportunity here to have conversations about ideas like the Banks bar. You know, what's right, what's wrong, what's good for the bee, what's bad for the bee, what's good for the beekeeper, what's bad for the beekeeper. But really it comes all down to, you know, what is it that you're trying to do? What are you looking for in beekeeping? For myself, I'm a retired veteran. I did 20 years in the military, and for me, this is my peace. You know, I'm a dad, I'm a husband, I work multiple jobs, and this is honestly my this is my peace. So I want to say thank you to people like Hives for Heroes and everyone else who just contributes to the opportunity that I now have to do this. So thank you to everyone. All right, stay classy.